Top 10 Most Extraordinary Amazing Bodybuilders You Can't Believe Actually Exist. Bodybuilding is the use of progressive resistance exercise to control and develop one's musculature. Most people struggle to make themselves go to gym twice a week, while others dedicate their whole lives to bodybuilding. You have to have a certain mentality to be a bodybuilder on a professional level. One's physical appearance can be one of the most impactful points of our self-esteem, especially when one is involved in a world where their appearance and physique are such a big part of their careers. Here are 10 most extraordinary amazing bodybuilders you can't believe actually exist. Bodybuilder with no arms. This inspirational woman turned what many would deem a dead end into a classic Disney tale that hits you in the feels. Barbie Thomas has been competing against able-bodied women in bodybuilding for over a decade after a youth crammed full of dance, soccer and swimming competitions. Mrs. Thomas lost both her arms when they were burned to the bone by an electric shock when she climbed up onto a transformer and grabbed the wires with both hands. But she wouldn't let that keep her down. Barbie made the decision to make gains and compete because she felt like doing what makes her happy and making the most out of what she has. Female bodybuilder turned into man. Candace Armstrong, once a pretty blonde, has been left with stubble, broad shoulders and a 1-inch manhood, after using steroids in a desperate attempt to improve her shape. The former London barmaid said her nightmare began when she joined a gym to improve her physique. Armstrong, who suffers from body dysmorphia, revealed she would work out for 3 hours a day, but was convinced her upper body was too slender. Despite people telling her she was developing great biceps, it wasn't enough. When a fellow gym fanatic suggested roids, the drug altered her body so much that her clitoris grew into a 1-inch. She developed facial hair, acne and even began to walk like a man. 80-year-old bodybuilder. An 80-year-old grandmother has put fellow bodybuilding competitors to shame by scooping the title for the most incredible muscles. Ernestine Shepherd started exercising at the age of 56, and instantly knew she'd found her new calling in life. Now the female bodybuilder has celebrated her 81th birthday and has no plans on slowing down when it comes to keeping fit. Previously named the world's oldest bodybuilder by the Guinness World Records in 2010 and 2011, Ernestine is so committed to her fitness program that she gets up at 3 a.m. every morning. And after spending years getting herself in incredible shape, Ernestine now dedicates much of her time to helping others as a personal trainer. Youngest Mr. Britain. A ripped teen is hoping to qualify for the Mr. Universe competition by the end of the year after only turning competitive in bodybuilding last year. Brad Wallace, 17, who has already won Mr. Britain, hopes to qualify for the famous bodybuilding event in October. Brad started taking part in bodybuilding competitions last year, winning Junior Mr. County Durham, Mr. Britain and Mr. World in an incredible debut season. And this year, he is hoping to qualify for Namibia's prestigious Mr. Universe, a competition famously won 4 times by movie star Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was at 15 boy first started going to the gym, although initially there were no plans to get involved in these competitions. 83-year-old bodybuilder. Not even a heart attack could deter a 83-year-old bodybuilder from pursuing his quest for the perfect physique. Most people his age would either be retired or lying in a hospital bed. Just 2 years after taking up weightlifting at his local gym, Jim Benny won a world title. But the grandfather was warned his days of competing had come to an end after he suffered a heart attack while working out last year. But the pensioner is determined to still have a future in the sport. "I'm actually fighting nature to achieve the body that I really want, and I think I've pushed my body to the maximum," he said. Anorexic to bodybuilder. A former anorexic who weighed just 4 stone has revealed her incredible transformation to become a champion bodybuilder. Nicola King waged a 6-year battle with the eating disorder but went from skeletal to toned in just 18 months after turning her focus to weightlifting. The 24-year-old was crowned champion in the Best Body Transformation category at Pure Elite's UK Championships. But only a few years ago, Nicola was admitted to intensive care and doctors told her parents to say goodbye because her vital organs were shutting down. At her worst she weighed just 4 stone, had a BMI of 8 and felt dead. She eventually moved to Ireland, where she started spending more time in the gym and sought advice from professionals about bodybuilding. World's smallest bodybuilder. Probably the smallest bodybuilder ever, standing tall at a mere 2'9" and weighing a mind-blowing 22 pounds. Unfortunately, Romeo passed away in 2012. His death was caused by a brain aneurysm. Romeo did shoulder presses with custom-made 4-pound dumbbells, a notable feat considering his tiny stature. Trans bodybuilder. Yanni Mariko Gillespie is an American who previously competed as a male professional powerlifter and competitive bodybuilder. Matt is a transgender. Matt Gillespie by day, Yanni Mariko by night. Being a record-holding champion powerlifter and former Secret Service guard, it's quite hard to put the two into the same boat. However, Rock has now begun undergoing surgical and hormone treatment steps to complete his transition into becoming a woman. Amanda Loy. A 4-foot-tall bodybuilder competing in her first ever tournament in 2014 received the biggest share of the entire event when she walked away with the trophy. Amanda weighs 72 pounds. She was born with hypochondroplasia, a type of dwarfism that means her physique remains in proportion. It's pretty much like an average height body, shrunk down into a smaller package, she said, explaining her condition. Despite her tiny stature, she made a big impression on the judges, placing 4th out of 9 competitors in her division and walking home with a trophy for her well-defined figure. She has been interested in bodybuilding for over 4 years. Then 6 months ago she started to embrace the rigorous diet and training regime, hitting the gym 6 times a week required to compete. Nick Scott. At the age of 16, Nick Scott was an ordinary teenager with an interest in athletics. Nick Scott is a shredded beast in a wheelchair, enough said. When he was only 16, he was in a near-fatal traffic accident. He made much struggle in his life to gain his confidence. Following the accident, Nick became an overweight teenager, mainly due to feeling super discouraged by the aftermath.
Subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. Top 10 videos world.